Almost everyone has experienced opening a drawer, closet, or counter space and feeling overwhelmed by the amount of clutter inside. In my house, with 6 children, that feeling can happen very quickly. Using a simple 5-step decluttering method developed by decluttering expert Dana K. White in her 2018 book, Decluttering at the Speed of Life, anyone can improve a space immediately without creating a bigger mess. This is important because learning a quick and effective way to declutter can reduce stress and make your home feel calmer and more manageable. So today, I'm going to demonstrate how to declutter a small space, beginning with the tools you need, then the first 3 steps for some quick wins, and finally the last 2 steps that help you make decisions and contain what remains. So first, let's get what we need to start the process. The equipment needed is very simple. We need a trash bag, a donation box, and my feet. The first rule of decluttering is to begin with the most visible area first, so you can immediately see progress. This helps build momentum and makes the effort feel worthwhile. You can even take a before picture before you get started, and so you can compare it later to see the progress you made. So now that we have the tools that we need, let's start with the first steps. So following Dana White's method, the first step is to remove any obvious trash or broken items and place them directly into the trash or recycling. So right now, what I see is here's some trash right here. This is dried out and weird, so it's going in the trash also. This is rusted, as is this one. So those are going in the trash. Let's see. I'm just looking for trash. That's all we're doing. So far, I don't see any more trash, so I'm going to go to the next step. The next step is to return items you already know where they belong. So if you see something and you immediately know it's home, you're going to take it there right away instead of creating a pile to deal with later. So for example, these paints I'm going to put over here with the paint. Then I can also see that these things right here, these would go on our workbench. I'll put those right here. Let's see, what else do we have? We have, these would go on the workbench. Oh, look, I found some more trash. We can just go back a step and put that away. It's still getting better, even as I do small things at a time. All right, we'll put these on the workbench. Notice we didn't make a big pile, we took it there right away. The last step is to place obvious donations, or I'm sorry, the third step is to take obvious donations and put them in the donation box. These are items you already know you don't need, so you don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about it. So for example, these are for a floor we no longer have, so I'm going to put these in donations. Likewise, this is for a table we don't have anymore. They're still in good shape, so I can donate them. All of this drop cloth action, we are not going to have any giant painting processes soon, so I'm going to put these in donations as well. And look what I found. I have 2 of these. I don't need 2. I'm going to put 1 in donations. The other one would go to the workbench. So I'm going to take it there right now. All right. Now that the quick wins have removed the obvious clutter, we can move on to the final steps of the method that help you make intentional decisions about what stays in the space. Step 4 is to ask 2 simple decluttering questions. The first question is, if I needed this item, where would I look for it first? So if the answer is clear, I'd take the item there right now. So right now, I see I have a paintbrush. I would look for it with the painting thing. So I'm going to put it there right now, right? I can do the same thing with these rollers that are still in good condition. Those are going to go on the shelf. Here's a paintbrush that is really worn out, so that's going to go in the trash. And look, something that should go on the workbench. I can take that there right now. Here's some more trash. All right. Oh, sorry. That can go with the paint stuff too. The second question is, if I needed this item, would it even occur to me that I already have one? If the answer is no, then the item is probably not important enough to keep. So, for example, if I'm looking for a worn-out tiny tray, would I even think, oh, I already have this? Probably not. So I'm going to go ahead. These are not a good enough shape to donate, so I'm going to recycle these. Step 5 is applying what Dana White calls the container concept. The container concept simply means that the space itself determines how much you keep. Instead of trying to find more storage for everything, the container sets the limits. The container is the bad guy. So if the container is full, something has to leave before something new can stay. So this helps keep your spaces manageable without constantly expanding storage. Finally, it's important to focus on progress rather than perfection. Even partially completing these steps leaves your space calmer and more organized than when you started. So with these steps in mind, let's quickly review the process. We used a 5-step decluttering method that allows anyone to improve a space immediately without creating a bigger mess. Today, I showed how to declutter a space by first gathering our simple tools, then completing the first 3 steps for those quick wins, and finally using the last 2 steps to make decisions and contain the remaining items. Decluttering doesn't have to be overwhelming or time-consuming. With a clear plan and even 5 minutes, they can leave both your space and your mind feeling calmer.